Hi, I'm Dave Allen. I'm the fly fishing sales rep for Patagonia, and we're first going to talk a little bit about the updates to the entire Patagonia wader line, which launched in the spring 2016 new fly fishing line. So the most important update we made to the entire wader lineup was really the sizing in the men's wader. We were running a little large in previous generations, so we ultimately took 2 inches out of the chest, 2 inches out of the waist, and 2 inches out of the hip. So it fits much truer to size, which means it's going to last much longer too. It's going to be much more durable because there's going to be less folding of fabric. And now we're going to talk about both the Rio Gallegos zip front and non-zippered version of the Rio Gallegos. So this is the apex style of our line from a fabric standpoint. It's our burliest 4-layer 9.1 ounce fabric for both the non-zip and the zippered wader. Some of the features that carry in from the current generation, from the previous generation, is the convertible suspension system. So both on the zip and non-zippered version, when you integrate with the rear suspender, can be cinched down and worn as pants, which makes it a very versatile piece. We also updated the pocket treatments on this wader as well. You still get the micro fleece line hand warming pocket as well as the 2 waterproof zippered pockets. You can see on the Rio Gallegos zip front, it comes with a nice clean storm flap on the front, and then our T-zip zipper on the zippered portion of it. Another feature update to the Rio Gallegos are these stash drop-in pockets on the inside of the wader. You get one on each side, which is great for stashing a beanie or gloves. It also happens to hold 2 beers perfectly on each side. Another update we see across the entire wader line, we updated the pleat pattern in the knees, which allows for a lot more range of motion than the previous generation. This is the 1/4-inch foam removable knee pad on the inside of the knee, which is a really nice feature for just taking a breather on the side of the river, waiting for the hatch to come off, kneeling down to land a fish. It's a feature that I initially thought was very gimmicky until I honestly ate it for the first time in the river, and you really notice that cushion. It saved my knees a number of times. One of the updates to this wader though, in the previous generation we went with a merino lined bootie. We updated the liner from merino to a new polygrid liner, which is slightly warmer than the merino. It dries a little bit more quickly, and it wicks moisture a little bit better. This is the new polygrid lined bootie, so you still get the 3.5 millimeter neoprene bootie, and then in addition to this polygrid liner, which allows for extra insulation for your colder fishing days, fishing in tailwaters. But because it's a grid fabrication, it still wicks and breathes moisture really well, and shouldn't be too concerned about overheating during the warmer months of the year. And another neat feature that you'll see across the entire line is what we call flat cuff construction. So we still run an elastic band around the outside of the ankle, and on the inside of the cuff we can go with the flat cuff construction, which accomplishes 2 things. One is the moment you step out of the river, all that extra water that's being held in the gravel guard will pour right out. And second, you'll minimize the abrasion that occurs from walking in your waders. From a price standpoint, price stayed the same. The Rio Gallegos zip front stays at $5.99 compared to, say, like a Simms G4Z at $7.99. And then when you look at the non-zippered version of this at $4.99, which would be compared to, say, like a Simms G3, this Rio Gallegos wader is a much more feature-rich wader. Those are the updates to the Rio Gallegos.